Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video. We are going to be making some real quick and simple cards today, partly because I've been away at a lovely little retreat with the larger team, so my upline organised a little gathering of us all, and yes, I've been with them all weekend, so I haven't had as much time to prep some videos over the weekend and get ahead. So this one I am filming a little bit last minute, but I wanted to sort of bring you something that I made while I was there, and we were using the Regal Flora set, which I hadn't actually opened up until we went to use it at the weekend. So it's a cling stamp, which I've just popped in there. We had to put there was a couple of sets going around, so we just labelled this one as mine. So lovely set with some really nice, gorgeous, sort of distinctive style flowers with some foliage and stuff, and some nice little sentiments. Okay. And coordinating dies to boot, so a couple missing from there. So we've got this image and the leaf that we're going to be using with the sentiment there. This die is really cute. It's a single die, but it cuts out like a stacked frame thing, which is nice. So that was the bundle that we were using. Let me just pop that to one side. But we also had the designer series paper to play with and some coordinating cardstock. So and I ended up with a couple of pieces left over. Okay, and it's really nice paper. So as you can see, I'd used these two to make some cards in my sort of usual style and stuff. But I ended up with these bits left over. And I used this side of that one because I had shaded spruce cardstock in my little pick. And then this one obviously coordinates with the Night of Navy. But isn't that Blackberry Bliss beautiful? And you know how much I love Blackberry Bliss. So I figured I'd switch this one over. We'll make a Blackberry Bliss one. The opposite side of this one is a little busy for my liking. I much prefer this one. So I think we'll stick with the navy one, but we'll use the blackberry of this one. And I'm going to guess this is about a 3-inch strip. I literally haven't measured it. It is just something that was an off-cut. It's just over 3 inches. And it's fractionally more than 6. But so, yeah, 6 by 3. A bit of scrap there. And we had some other cardstock and stuff knocking about and to play with. And there was this little strip of wild wheat left over. So I thought, well, we'll use that too. To make something with these bits and pieces that were left over, basically, and make the most out of it. So not necessarily going to use this layout because pieces, well, I could actually get a full panel out of those if I wanted to, with a little bit left over. But I thought I'd try something different. But I don't exactly know what. I've got an idea, but we're gonna work out the measurements and stuff as we go along. Nothing like doing things on the hoof, right? So that's what we're sort of going towards. Still like this banner thing, which I think we'll keep as a detail. Got some of this ribbon, and again we were given some ribbon to play with, which is the lovely Blackberry Bliss and Gold that comes in the suite. But we're using the Wild Wheat accent colour, and I thought I might bring in this new ribbon, which is called the Rustic Striped Ribbon in Wild Wheat, which is really, really nice as well. So, so I thought we'd change it up a little bit and see what we come up with, really. Okay, so let's pop those to one side, but I just wanted to show you something that I made while we were having fun and chatting away and experimenting with some stuff. So you know that those of you who follow me know that I don't use a lot of DSP. I just find it a bit challenging. I don't really know why, really, because I kind of generally stamp my own DSP and then I use that. So, I don't know. It's one of them. But I totally get it. It's really cool to have something that you can just chop up and make pretty things out of. So I've gone ahead and made some card bases in the coordinating Blackberry Bliss and Night of Navy cardstock. I've already gone ahead and cut some little strips of basic white here. These are 3/4 of an inch wide strips, and I think I've got them to 3 3/4 so that they'll end up going across the card somehow or other. And we'll banner them off and stamp the greeting on them. And then I've got this strip. So I'm going to bring in the trimmer. And we're going to, sorry, I just need to shuffle my stool back so that I can show you the top of this. So what I'm actually going to do with this strip to try and get the most out of it, I'm going to cut this down to 4 to start off with, and then I'm going to cut it lengthways because it's a 2-inch strip, that is. I think it's a full length of A4, but it was 2 inches wide. And then I'm going to slice it in half, and that will become those layers for the banner across the middle. So those are going to go together like that once we've stamped and cut them out, which leaves us with this bit. Okay, so how long is that? Let me just grab my ruler. My left-handed ruler. Right, what is this? This is... Okay, so the maths is going to be difficult if I leave out the full length. So it's about 7 and something. So let's make it 7.5 to make the maths a bit easier. So I do need to take that out. Let's pop that away just for a second. 7.5. So what's half of that? 3 3/4? I think it is. Looks about right. 3 3/4. So we've got 2 3 3/4 strips, which are going to fit nicely on a card base. So if I bring in one of these card bases, pop that to one side just for a second. Ooh, that's going to fit nice, isn't it? So, bear with, and then we're going to be stamping and cutting a banner, which we might put across the bottom maybe. But what I want to do is put some little bits of designer series paper on there. Okay. Right, so if we want to do... This is where I have to think really, really hard. This is what happens when I'm trying to design something, right? So, want to have the bits on there with a little bit of a border. I could just stick on a plain panel, but that's a bit boring. I think it would look nice if it was like a triptych design and we have a bit of that wild wheat coming through. I think it would just be a little bit more interesting. Okay, so we're going to need 1/8 of an inch there, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. That's a quarter. No, yes, a quarter. And a quarter is a 1/2 inch. So if I make it 1/2 an inch shorter than what that is, what did I cut that to? 3 3/4. 3 3/4, take off 1/2 an inch, takes it to there. We know it's 2 inches wide, so we want it 1 7/8. And then we have these little bits that we need to do into thirds. Right, okay, so it's 1 inch and a bit, isn't it? 1 inch and a bit. Okay, so I'm going to take it. So I'm going to cut on this side, and I'm going to take it to 1 1/16, which is kind of annoying. We could just do it now that I've cut that down. We could have probably made it a little bit bigger and just made it for 1 inch little panels. We could do that and just space them out a little bit more evenly, which makes the maths a little bit easier. So we could just do that, little 1 inch sections. When I'm doing the small bits, I like to line it up on this side. Like that, see? So when we cut down the Blackberry Bliss one, let's just cut that down to 3 and have done with it, and then we can just cut it into little sections. So that's going to space out on there. So we might need to just make sure that they're even. So we're going to end up with a bigger border between those. But that's going to look cute. Or we go with, and we just go with it, and I don't really want to cut the whole thing down, so 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go with that and cut them to 1 1/8. Right, and then this is 2 and 7. No, yes, it's 2 inches wide, so it's 1 7/8, isn't it? To get that top to bottom border. So those pieces are still nice sizes to use on something as well, okay, as are these. And let's do this 1 1/8. So again, just using this side, and that should be 1 1/8 on this side as well, which it is, so in half. There we go. We're making it up as we go along. Okay, so that's spaced out a little better. So those were 1 1/8 by 1 7/8 of an inch, and they fit a little better than that other one. Okay, but you know, we've cut the paper now, so we'll just go with it. Okay, that's just me trying to work out stuff. So when you're if you are thinking about how you're going to lay something out, sometimes I do it in like some scrap paper first, like just copy paper or something like that, or even just some old scrap designer series paper even, right? And you'll be able to then work out what measurements you've got. Okay, we could recut this, but I don't think it's long enough. No, it isn't. So we're going to go with it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this with these panels. Let's move our card bases out of the way just for a second, because we can do all that at the end, can't we? So I think because we've got this, or what we could do, here we go, here's a way to rectify this then. We could lay them out and then just trim the wild wheat to make it look right. That's another way to do it. So up to you. You can either shuffle these about to make them fit, and it might look a bit peculiar, or we can trim down the wild wheat, and I think we'll trim down the wild wheat because that seems to, I think that will be the simplest way to do this. So I'm just going to use my what's this called, Stampin' Seal. Okay, get all that taped down, and then we'll get this one lined up, getting our nice even border. We probably could shuffle it across just a tad. Okay, and then I'm going to continue the design across. The pattern's a little bit random, so it probably won't show terribly if you don't continue the pattern across. So don't worry if you've got to cut some scraps and do it slightly different to accommodate what you've got left. Okay, and then we can just trim off that. Should we take, what do we need to take off? About 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, take off 1/4 of an inch and call it good. Okay, not quite straight, but it'll do. Okay, and then we can do the same with this one. Looks good with that green as well though, right? But we're going to go with this. I think this might actually be Pretty Peacock. Don't know. I'd have to get the catalogue out and have a look at what those colours are. But either way, I think it looks good. Lay that on there. Lay that one on there. There we go. So those ones fit much better. Okay, now I think we can put these on flat onto the card bases, I think. And then we can pop up the little sentiment banners. So we'll just whack some seal on those and just pop those into place. But although that one looks like it probably fits better that way because the flowers look like they're that way around. So let's pop this, oops a daisy, slightly above centre. Just looking to get that left and right margin something like even. So let's go with that. And again, you just want to look and see whether there's a better way for some of these to sit. I think I quite like it that way. Just the way the colour is spread out on that. So let's go with that. Okay, so they're not identical but similar, you know, okay? Alright. So there's our bases. I'm going to bring in a punch to help me with this. This is a retired punch. I'm sorry this isn't available, but it just helps cut these banners down. So these are going to shrink a little bit if you put them all the way into the back, if you do have this punch and you want to use it. So what I'm just going to do is shuffle it back and just clip off the end there. Okay, and so they're ready to do. And of course you can cut that with scissors, no problem. If you want to, okay. And we are going to have to also take off the end of this. So just do that quickly as well. Daisy. Just feed it in. And clip those off. Oops, daisy. All these little pieces have flown all over the place, so I just want to grab those. There we go. So we want to stamp our sentiments on there, so of course we're going to use the coordinating inks for those. Okay, what I've already done ahead of time is stamped a couple of the leaves and this image here as well, also in the coordinating colours. So those are all ready to go, and I've die cut those with the matching sentiments, sorry, with the matching dies. These are the dies. So those all cut out beautifully already, just to save a little bit of time. So I do a lot of die cutting on my videos, so if you want to have a look at how die cutting works, there's loads of videos back on my channel that you can scroll back through and have a look at. Now these are red rubber stamps, and I don't actually put the stickers on mine, but you know, everyone can do, if you want to put the stickers on, obviously please do so. When I was trying to line this up before, sorry, just talking away from the camera, I didn't get them quite straight when I was eyeballing them, so it was a little bit down on the left. Sorry, that is the right hand side, down on the right hand side. So I'm just going to have a think about that and just maybe where I think it's going to land, and then maybe just twist it just a teensy bit to see if I can get it a little straighter. I'll probably overcook it and make it wonky the other way, but you know, it's not perfect. You could, of course, smashed it. It's pretty darn straight, that is. Pretty darn straight. Okay, so that's the blue one. Let's put away that ink before I accidentally ink that up. And then I'm just going to wipe that off. My chamois off to the left, so I'm just going to wipe that off because we want to then do it in Blackberry Bliss. Get that inked up. And, oh, do you think I can do it twice? I think I can get it perfect twice. Let's have a look. Let's go with that. Oh, that might be too much. Oh no, it's not too bad. Not too bad. There we go. So of course, put the stickers on if you want. Otherwise, you can do the trick with grid paper or something like that, or even just a straight line on a piece of paper. Just draw a straight line, stamp it out, and just make sure that your stamp is straight on your block. So put your stamp straight, put your block on straight. So I'd probably use an H block, and then you can line up your block with an edge on your paper. Okay, I've shown that before as well, so I hope that made sense, sort of. Right, let's layer these up. So I think what we're going to do is just butt that up to the edge of these. So let's just check that they'll fit before I commit. What do I want it over? I don't think I want it over the top. I think I want to just cut it across the middle there. And I don't think I mind the fact that it sticks out a little bit over there. But I also want room for my embellishments, which is what I made, which was kind of how this one ended up with that up there, because I really wanted that. But I think we could do the same thing actually. We could probably just tuck it in. Okay. Right. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure this sort of mostly towards the end, but just leave this bit, just maybe just run the glue along the bottom on here, that I've got room to tuck in those bits and pieces, and then we'll pop the rest of it up onto dimensionals. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll just run the adhesive along the bottom, which will secure it well enough. Let's do it that way around so that I can line it up. Okay. So now that should be, I can still slot that stuff in without having to worry about bending it or anything. Do the same with this one. It's really gorgeous paper. So if you are into DSP and you like these lovely Regal colours, this is a really pretty one to look at, to use. Really, really nice. Okay. Dimensionals is what we need on this now. I reckon 3 will be plenty. Don't need to go mad. Okay, I probably could have done 2 about there, but you know, you don't want it to get, you know, too squished. If you are posting these things, you know that they will get a bit squashed if they go through the franking mechanism. Those off, and we can pop these into place. So that one's a bit shorter, so it's not overhanging as much, the panel. So let's pop that there. Oops, daisy. and this one maybe a bit lower, maybe off this way a little bit. It's kind of lining up with that panel, which I don't know whether I like or not. Let me shuffle that over a little bit. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Okay, and then we can stick our lovely little bits and pieces in on here, so we can do them behind the wild wheat and tuck them into there as well. So what I think I might do is put, oh, that's the wrong way around as well. Let's do it the right way around. I think I might put the leaves behind the wheat and then put this bigger one. Might even use a dimensional. Let's do that. Let's put a dimensional on the back of that big thing. Okay. And we can use a bit of, either you can use wet glue or Stampin' Seal for this, because you only need a little bit to secure it at the top there. So let's just do that. And then this is what I call dry building, so you can just sort of pop these in where you think they might sort of land, and then tuck that in there. Yeah, that's going to be cool. So I might just shuffle that over a little bit so it's coming out more that way, and crossing that border a little bit, and then pop that one in there. And then we'll tuck this one in like so. Cute. Cute. Could even stick that a little bit further over maybe. And that just slots in there. Twistle it around a bit how you would like it. There we go. Nice. Okay, and then we've just got this nice little bit of ribbon. Okay, now do we want bows or knots? Do we want bows or knots? Let's have a look. Let's wind off a little bit of this and give myself some slack. So just did the little bunny ear method there, just to get those loops into place, and then tie them tight, and then adjust. Cute. Cute, cute. Oh, Under the Love is nice, isn't it? Because it's kind of... Oh, yeah, I think that looks nice. And then when I cut the tails, I pinch the tails together like that and cut them at the same time, which means you'll get your little legs of your bow even. So let's do another one of those for this card. You could totally do a knot. I did a knot on the other ones with the Blackberry Bliss ribbon. I think I find that depending on the ribbon, this is actually quite soft. It's really nice. So this one I think looks nice as a bow. That the Blackberry Bliss ribbon that I used on the other cards is a stiffer ribbon, which is going to tie great bows, and the loops will stay sort of where you put them, kind of thing. But it also holds a knot really nicely, whereas I think the thin ribbon you can get a really small tight knot and it doesn't look as good. If you're going to do a knot, you want a nice big fat knot, if you know what I mean. But I think these look cute as ribbons. Of course we'll need glue dots for those, so let's grab those. So just press the back of the knot of your bow onto the glue dot on the roll there, and grab a pokey tool, my mission is to use my take your pick more often rather than reaching for my the tool I've used for years and years and years. Right, let's use my take your pick. And just pop that under the love there. Oh, I think that's really, really cute. Really, really cute. And I think it would look lovely with those lovely, you know, the sequins that I love. Those neutral adhesive backed sequins. There are gems that go with this this suite. But I think the gold will look really, really nice. And just sort of emphasise that wild wheat as kind of a faux gold kind of look. Oops, these ones don't want to play. There we go. It's so lovely. There we go, a little trio of those just to finish that off, and I think that those look really, really sweet. So that is Regal Flora. Well, I'll just pop those away, because if I don't pop them away they'll not go away. Regal Flora, how do you like those then? I think they've turned out really, really nice. So these are the ones that I made at the retreat with the bigger panel, kind of very verity, and I just put a little bit of accent paper on there just to sort of break that up a bit. There's the knot with that lovely black Brubelis ribbon, which is, like I say, a little on the you know, a stiffer ribbon. Okay, and then from those leftover bits and pieces we made these, which I think are super cute. Okay, so there we go, a couple of ideas there. I hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you didn't mind a little bit of winging it and just seeing where we were going with it. If you do enjoy this, please do like, subscribe and all that jazz. Links are in the description if you're interested in buying any products. And as it's the first of the month, it's the start of a new year, there's a brand new joining offer, there's all sorts going on. Please do have a look at the shop links, have a look what's on offer, and see if anything takes your fancy. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.